the mayor asked if either my wife or I were interested in possibly serving on the council. And Heidi, possibly to her better judgment, said no thank you. And I said, well, gosh, you know, this is a short-term commitment. It would be a 3 months of fulfilling a previous council member's seat. And at that point, I'd be able to decide whether I wanted to run or not. And I got in and found out about possibly 3, definitely 2 annexation proposals on the table, with thousands of units being proposed, and it scared the heck out of me. And I wanted to run away because I knew this wasn't going to be fun. And I kept thinking about my kids and thinking, well, I've had my opportunity to possibly have some influence, and if I run away, how will I feel about that in the future? And so I felt like I had to stick it out, and so I ran and won my seat for my first real term, and the rest is history. I started out with Congressman Gilchrist, getting money assigned to that project a decade ago, and it languished in part because there was opposition from the college, for one. The thing that I learned from the project is that if you don't decide that you want something and then chew on it on almost a daily basis, it can easily languish and die on the vine. And I think that was sort of what was going on. Luckily, I had some friends that put me in touch with people that had some influence with the state, and I was able to take advantage of that. That was purely through people knowing people and my showing up and saying this is really important, and that really, I think, broke the logjam on it. I think that when the trail is in place, people will understand much more how valuable it will be to the town. The economic resource that we have as a town is quality of life. We can't compete on an industrial playing field, and we can't compete on a lot of other playing fields, but what we can do is attract people with talent and possibly capital who want to come live in a great town. And that can't just simply be a retirement town. It's got to be a town that an executive with a young family might choose to relocate to. And there are examples in town of people that have done that have come to Kent County, have invested a lot of money, and have made jobs purely because of, or maybe not purely because of, but in large part or majority part because of the quality of life. And that's, I think, should be our economic development strategy. I don't think we should keep trying to go after the large companies that everybody else is going after. We need to figure out how to use our intellectual resources and our quality of life resources to attract people. With the port study group, the gorilla in the room was the marina. And then quickly, as we realized that question needed to be asked, whether or not it should be publicly owned. Couple things happened. One, it became pretty obvious that it was not a good idea to approach this in a way where we would simply throw taxes at it. That what we needed to do was look at this in a way, in a financial model, or with a financial model, that allowed for it to pay for itself, and whether or not that was possible. So that was the premise. Can the marina finance itself? And the reason why the marina was in jeopardy, it was not because it was a dying business. I mean, it definitely needed an influx of capital, and it could definitely benefit from the kind of financing that comes through public financing, lower interest rates into that financial model. But the bigger issue was the fact that the marina was in jeopardy because the market value of the marina was not dependent on it being a marina. The market value of the marina was based on it being condos. So again, the reality that I was seeing was that I don't care whether you're talking about, okay, it's 2008 or 2009 and we're in the middle of a recession / nobody wants to say depression, and people start saying, well, it's got no value. Nobody wants it right now. I don't care about right now. That thing has been there for 300 years, and as a wharf or whatever else. And so we're not talking about 1, 2, 5 years. We're talking about 10 years from now. What will it be? And to me, it became really obvious that market would push it into private hands where there wouldn't be any kind of public access. And so it became really important that we do something. And I think that the biggest thing I've learned is that there is an enormous difference between public perception on an issue and the reality of the issue. The things that are going on are always more complex than it appears in the public eye. And so I think it's a shame when I think we as a democracy have developed I don't know if we've developed a terrible habit or we've always had this terrible habit of assuming that our politicians are idiots. I saw a bumper sticker the other day that said, throw the bums out. And I thought, well, which bums? The ones you elected? Which bums? We keep electing people, we offer them up to this system, and then we do this self-fulfilling prophecy of proving that they're idiots. And we need to stop hurting ourselves that way.